Welcome back, everybody, to another amazing episode of CLX Foundry Live, where we go inside a custom build and assemble it from the ground up. I'm your host, DJ BluePDX, here, of course, with our lead technical expert, Paul Steffens, and master builder, Christian Garrett. But first, let's introduce our special guest today. For starters, let's go with the big name. It's September 21st of 2018. The first of two people for the Phase 5 was announced, and it was FaZe Mew. Mew has been considered one of the best trick shotters in Fortnite. At least that's what they said at the time, based on the video he submitted. Over 850,000 followers on Twitter, and 500,000 between Twitter and YouTube, and that's nothing compared to the 3.2 million followers on TikTok. Welcome to the show. It's Mew.
Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. I
Hello.
see the love in the chat, by the way. Love you guys.
And of course, the Mew community, all in here. Hello, welcome. And of course, you had a winner for an event, and that
Yes.
turned out to be Ghvst. So welcome to the show, Ghvstgg. Ghvst, is the V silent, or is it just asking?
Yeah, it's silent.
Perfect, awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the competition and how we got to this point of you winning the PC.
You want to go? You want to lead this one, Ghvst, or do you want me to?
You got it.
So I hosted I don't know, Fall Guys just started popping recently again because they made the game cross-compatible. So there's a lot of people who were in my customs playing Fall Guys on their console, and everyone was like, yo, you should host like a giveaway, and I was like, what can we give away? So then I was like, yo, we got to hit up CLX or something, and we got to make something happen. And we ended up hosting a Fall Guys tournament. And it's crazy too, because I'm such a tryhard, but I was the one who ended up winning that tournament.
Nah.
But yeah, naturally. So because I won that tournament, I was like, who in my community should we give it to? And then everyone was just saying Ghvst. Everyone was saying Ghvst, because like there's a lot of people between our communities who just love this man. So we just had to give it to Ghvst.
Oh, that's awesome. Ghvst, how did you feel about winning it?
I was like shocked because like Harry like picked me to like win it out of like anybody else he could have, so I was like excited for that. And I was like jumping out of my chair when he won, screaming the whole time.
It was amazing to watch too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to go back and look at that VOD. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at what you're getting. So gentlemen, Christian, Paul, let's start going through the pieces and the parts of what we're building.
Alrighty, so we got a Scarab today. We'll just start off with the processor and work our way down. So this is going to have an i7 12700KF. All that's going to be cooled by a triple rad, an ENERMAX LIQMAX RGB.
That's going to be fun. That's definitely going to keep it cooled. And it's going to look pretty.
Yeah, it's a really nice looking cooler. The motherboard we're using for this build is a B660M Steel Legend.
Awesome.
And going into that, we've got two 16-gig sticks of Trident Z Neo 3600.
So full 32.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And for our main drive, we've got a Kingston 1 terabyte NVMe. So that'll be nice for the OS and all the games.
Sweet.
For our power supply, we've got a SilverStone SFX 750.
Nice. That's an 80 plus platinum.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice one. It's a smaller factor. We'll get into that a little bit once we get it open.
Awesome.
Our video card, we've got an MSI 3070 here. This is the Ventus Plus with 3 fans.
Nice, powerful RTX card.
We've got 9 white CLX ring fans here that'll be going into the case. And then probably the most exciting build, or part of this build, is this case.
Here we go.
So this is a Leon Lee 011 mini tower. We've done a custom print job here. You can see it on the front and right there on the side.
Oh, that's rad.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna start getting these panels off. Christian can start building the board and we'll just get going.
Awesome.
Oh,
All right.
look at that sticker.
Right.
That's so nice.
Okay, so let's just ask a couple questions to kind of break the ice here. Ghvst, what kind of a system are you playing on now?
I got this PC like when the World Cup of Fortnite started, because like I'm gonna go for it. It has a 2060 in it, I've had it for like 4 or 5 years now. I don't know all of them, but it is just kind of like falling apart. I can't really stream anything long enough.
Well, I have a feeling this is going to solve that problem really, really well.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, so let's talk a little about what some of the things that we do here. So we want to create an educational opportunity for people to learn not just about what goes into a PC, but some of the things that are on these boards as from a beginning. And if you've never seen this show before, we like to assemble it in real time, show you about it. If you have questions in the chat, please feel free to ask. We'll try and get to them as quickly as possible. If you have questions from you or for Ghvst, please feel free to toss them out there. We'll be certainly able to answer those fairly quickly, unless there's a barrage. But let's start with the motherboard at first. We're going to be using this is a B660M Steel Legend by ASRock. And first things we do, Christian will assemble the motherboard with the CPU and the RAM. And Christian, tell everybody why that's important to do ahead of time.
It just gives you more room to work with. If I had the motherboard in the case here, I'm just limiting the room I can work with. So putting the motherboard together outside the case just makes things easier for me.
I do have people asking. Pieces wants to know what Ghost's real name is.
My real name is Steven.
Steven.
With a V.
With a V. That explains the V in Ghvst. There we go. Perfect. Awesome.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things to take a look at also while he's doing this is going to be inserting that the CPU obviously into its slot. There's 4 different bays for RAM on this, along with your M.2, 2 M.2 hypers. You've also got multiple USBs on this. How many USBs come on that case, Paul?
Yeah, so on this case, we've got 2 3.0s at the top and 1 Type-C.
Nice. And then on the back, it looks like we will have 6 2.0s and a total of 6 3.2 Gen 1s. And then 1 Gen C also, as you mentioned, that's going to be connected to the case. So quite a few USBs for you, and some pretty high-speed USBs. So I feel like you're going to have enough options there, Ghvst, to really hook up some some premium peripherals. It comes with 2.5 gig LAN Dragon ports. Paul, what the heck does that mean?
Yeah, so that's just it's a faster speed Ethernet port. Usually they're 1 gig that comes on board. So that 2.5 just lets you get faster speeds, faster, prevent lag, faster stuff like that.
Nice. Well, that's always a plus when you're gaming. Somebody asked, what inspired Steven to stream?
I don't know if you guys know who CDN the Third is. Like, that's one of my favorite streamers.
He's so good.
He's just so funny. I was like, I want to try it. Like, oh, that's where I'm at right now.
There you go.
I love
You
the
just
game.
kind of kicked off. Well, the pandemic was a perfect time to just sit back and do the only thing you could do: stay at home.
Even after the pandemic, I'm still doing that.
Right? Yeah. I've gotten used to being in my studio, and I like where I go upstairs, and my dogs are up there. My house is up there. Down here, I'm just like, all right, air conditioned, fine, I'm safe. Except for, a bit of a flood, and I'm screwed. So, okay. Now, as for the RAM, we've got 32 gigs of RAM of the 3600, which is going to provide a nice baseline for your system. What of all the things, Paul, what does the RAM primarily influence when it comes to the functionality of a system?
So yeah, RAM usually, when you're talking about your system speed, RAM has a lot to do with that. So it kind of preps stuff to go into the CPU to help it handle that. It's like it stores it there temporarily and preps that. So the more RAM you got, the more that can be stored there, the more that can be processed quicker.
Awesome.
And 32 gigs, that's a ton. So this will be a really good build. I'm a little jealous of that. So.
And I think the stock standard right now for most systems is that on the average they come with 16. Mew, how many do you have in yours? I have a feeling this is gonna be like some ridiculous number.
How many what?
How much RAM do you have in your system?
It's so bad that I don't know the specs of my own PC. I'm telling you right now. I wish I could tell you.
No worries. No worries at all. Real quick, I do want to ask if we could get a top shot once Christian's finished installing that. I want to talk about some of the large pieces of what looks like silver plating over the top of this device. It has multiple different cooling units or cooling plates on it. And I just wanted to point those out. This is a kind of a unique board for that.
Yeah, it is. Let's see if we can get a little. All right. Okay, so right here, these are our heat spreaders here. We've got a giant one right here, another large one here, and into our I/O shield. This is the M.2 is under here. This is also a heat shield, and then we got another one here. So this is going to allow all the components under them to cool really efficiently. These are actually some pretty beefy heat sinks on this board, so it should perform great.
Awesome. Anything else unique about this board that you see?
This does have some nice RGB lighting on the side right here, the steel legend part, and it's like a running light underneath it. So we'll see that once the board gets power.
That is great. Speaking of things that light up, you'll notice right now Christian is assembling the AIO, which is our all-in-one cooling system. Tell us a little bit about this cooling system and why it's a good one for this specific build.
Yeah, so the all-in-ones have really kind of, I don't know, taken over. They're just really easy to install as opposed to like an open loop system. And this is a triple rad 360, so this will be plenty of cooling for this CPU. You could get, I mean, this would cool fine with a 120, a 240, but having this 360 here is just gonna keep those CPU temps really low, allow them to boost up for a longer period of time.
Nice. And we've talked a little bit before on other shows about push and pull. Can you explain what that concept is and which way we're going to be mounting this radiator?
Yeah, so this radiator is going to be mounted to the top of the case, and we're going to be pushing air through the radiator and out the case. So you can see this fan here I've got in my hand. It's going to sit on one side of here and push air actually through the fins and out the top of the case. A push-pull would be if we had a fan on either side, then we would be pushing it through and also pulling air through as well.
And I want to give a huge shout out. Mew, you have a great community. They're so hyped. They're so excited to be here.
I know, I can't even read the chat right now.
This is awesome. I like it. A couple people are asking how you're feeling, Ghvst. You excited about this? Are you nervous to be on a show or something?
I'm kind of nervous, but like I didn't sleep until like late because I was playing Walking Dead. So
that is a legitimate. That is a legitimate reason, especially at night. Especially playing that. Yeah. So Mew, real quick, couple questions.
Yes.
You obviously kind of exploded when you joined in with FaZe Clan. When did you actually start your gaming career, though?
Oh man, I literally started making content in 2008, and going into it, I didn't know what I wanted to do, whether it was streaming or it was like actually making, like producing real content on YouTube or something. I just remember after I graduated high school, I kind of wanted to take it a little bit more serious. So I asked my mom and dad, I was like, yo, can I have like a gap year so I can just try this out, trust me. And then like they put a lot of trust in me, and then everything just started popping off for me from there on out.
Gap year for the win.
Yeah. The dedication though, the dedication, because if it all failed, I would have gone back to school, and I don't know where I would be right now.
Yeah, I started shoutcasting back in 2014 for Halo and for Griffball, and then started getting.
Griffball.
Oh yeah,
that's a throwback.
Yep, I'm the caster for Griffball. So that's my specialty. And then we did a bunch of things actually with Fortnite at a lot of the PAXs for Hype Zone. So yeah.
That's really
now,
cool.
you've been with FaZe since 2018. How have things changed for you since 2018 and joining FaZe?
I think definitely like me switching like my content, because I did start off on Fortnite, and just realizing that like I could definitely do a lot more. I expanded into like variety, so I started playing other games like Call of Duty, Valorant. So transitioning from what I joined as into a whole different like new community, like it was very scary at first, but FaZe supported me through that, and they were like, you can play whatever you want, we'll be here for it.
Awesome. I was fortunate enough to meet Snipedown, and Eric and I go back many years, and he's the one who taught me how much I was doing wrong with the sniper rifle. Ironic though, because it was it's Snipedown, because I played Griffball on 1010 sensitivity back on controller.
Oh,
he was like,
wow.
Why? Well, it's Griffball. It's opposite of everything shooty. So you want to be quick and move fast. He's like, you need to bring it down a lot.
I would have no control at all.
Yeah, no, and ever since then, it kind of changed my shooty game. So, much love, Snipe Down. All right, and also we've got people making, and I'm trying to figure out whose tattoos you all are talking about in chat. Are you referring to Paul's tattoos?
He has really cool tattoos. I love looking at him.
Bright
Whenever we get that zoom in.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by the bright colors, especially orange on the right arm.
Here we go.
Man, everybody talks about how cool Paul's arms are, and then everybody says how hairy mine are.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
You got hairy arms and tatted arms.
It's not fair.
My arms were hairy. I just covered them up with the tattoos, you know?
There you go. There you go. All right, so he's assembling all the fans on here. One of the great things about these fans is they're fully RGB, not just the rings, but also the blades, which means we're going to get a bright, vibrant color and a coordinated bright, vibrant color inside of that system, along with the multiple other fans that we've got going in. So this is going to be a very well-ventilated system, I take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is, I mean, this case is going to be completely full of fans, so it's going to have a ton of airflow. These fans are really quiet too, which is nice. Since there will be 9 in the system, it will be quiet still.
So similar yet different from this chat. Lots of fans, but definitely not quiet.
Wow.
There you go.
Sorry. Cheese is my only go-to. So there you go. All right, and on the back now, as we're seeing that image right there on the back, you notice that little gap down below where you can see the quick release screws. Paul, what are those slots for?
Yeah, so this one at the bottom here, this case is actually pretty cool. We'll go over it all because it's got a lot of quick release screws. So this one at the bottom here is just going to open up our 3.5-inch drive. We won't be using that for this build since it's got a 1 terabyte M.2, but Ghvst, if you ever do add a mechanical drive, you can. This case does have the capability for that. And then up here along the side, you've got all these thumb screws as well. These are pretty unique to this case. I hadn't seen this design since before this case when I built one of these a little while back, but you can actually change the configuration here. So we have this set like this because it's got a triple rad up top, a 360 radiator. So we need the space in the top of the case for the radiator and the fan to sit. If we can go back to that side shot, please. But we slid this down, so if we wanted to add more fans at the bottom, you can completely slide this configuration up, put it lower. It's a pretty unique case as far as that goes. There's a bunch of ways you can mount the motherboard.
Which is awesome. Now, this is a smaller case than we've had, than we've used previously in the past. I think we've had one that was also a similar case size. This is a smaller form factor, but we're packing a lot into this. What are some of the advantages of having a case that's so streamlined?
So for me, I like the smaller cases because they can fit on a desk and look a little nicer than like a giant tower. This one will display really well. And then as far as components now, I mean, sometimes you have some limitations with what you can put in, obviously a small case. This case has been designed really well. We've obviously got a full-length video card. It does require a smaller power supply, but I mean, this power supply is a pretty beefy 750 Platinum. So getting one of those, like this will perform just as well as if it was an ATX.
I love this so much, by the way. I'm like so fascinated. I'm like trying to play Fortnite while watching this.
Well, we did have a question in the chat about this. Let's talk about it. The question was, what kind of a processor? This is an i7 12700KF. Paul, what does the KF stand for?
Yeah, so the K is going to talk about it being, or is going to reference that it's overclockable or unlocked, so you can boost this thing up if you wanted to. It already does have a boost clock, so it is going to boost past the base on each core whenever it can. And the F just means this won't have onboard video, so you do need a video card for this, which obviously we have. So,
which we have a big one.
Yep.
We have a big one. So go big or go home. There you go.
That's right.
So the 12700, how many cores does that have?
I don't have that off the top of my head, actually. Let me see here. We've been looking at so many.
So this has apparently, I believe it has 12 cores with 20 threads.
Or 20 threads? Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
These 12th gens, I don't have them all down because they're using the, like it used to be every core, if it had hyper-threading, would like double the core size, but now they have efficiency cores and gamer cores, and so that's what this has.
Nice. So yeah, base speed at 3.6 gigahertz, turbo speed up to 4.9. So, well done. It's on an Alder Lake build. So
Nice.
that's going to be a socket 1700. Is that right?
Yep, socket
Okay.
1700.
Now that should future-proof this machine for a while. It's going to be pretty banging for a long time.
Yeah, this thing is a beast.
And of course, with all the fans, you'll be able to keep it cool. Ghvst, make sure you're not putting this on carpet. That's all I'm saying.
Mine's not on carpet right now, so we're good.
Okay, good.
Good.
Awesome. Perfect. So now you're going to have, Ghvst, you're going to have a PC for gaming, and you'll have your old PC. Have you considered going to a dual PC system?
Absolutely, because
Perfect.
I'm done with this PC at the moment. I can't do it no more. It's just
Okay.
annoying me.
Yep, my very first time going from console to PC, and I never went back to console after that. And I was streaming and gaming on the same machine and realized this is not working. This is, the more you do it, the lower the settings are. You're just like, oh god, this is yeah. Playing Rainbow Six Siege on low was, well, I mean, I didn't have to pull any of my hair out, but it was, you know, if there was, I would have.
Yeah.
So are we going to be overclocking this machine, Paul?
We will not be overclocking this one.
Okay, but you will be able to, Ghvst. Those things are all going to be adjustable inside of there.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it looks like we're mounting the bottom fans. So let's discuss the airflow.
Yeah.
One of the things that's so important with keeping a system cool is how you push the air in and out. How is this unit going to be processing that?
Yeah, so this design has the intake on the bottom. So we're going to be pulling fresh air in from the bottom and exhausting it out the back and through the top. We will be bringing some air in through the back here. We'll show that later though once we get that going in.
Awesome. And of course, chat, if you have any questions or would like to know more about a piece or a part, hit us up. Let me know. And so, Mew, I took a look, of course, you know, did my research. You've been playing a lot of both Fortnite and Valorant.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little about your Valorant team.
Oh man, we recently played against 100 Thieves, and I saw that we went 0-3, which does it's unfortunate, but these things happen. But we do have an amazing Valorant roster. Myself, Valorant wise, like, I'm not much of a comp player. Like, I play comp every day, but like I wouldn't consider myself to be a pro or anything. But I do love that game. That game definitely gets me off like the edge of my seat. As for Fortnite, however, I don't really keep up with Fortnite anymore. This is actually the first time recently where I've actually enjoyed Fortnite, because they've been bringing back a lot of like older stuff from the game.
Yeah.
But today they just released Dragon Ball Z collaboration, and
Right?
yes, and I'm so addicted to it right now.
That's, yeah. It's interesting how quickly and how often they reinvent themselves. That game
yeah.
is that it has
It's
doesn't
just
stay. If it
endless
goes,
collaborations.
yeah, and if it doesn't go, if it doesn't go stale, you know, then there's always people coming back into it. Always people. I've fallen back in love with the new build, with the non-build mode. That, because I left it and didn't really touch it for a while, and then no build came back, and I was like, wait a minute, this could be fun, because I suck at building. I'm really good at being terrible at certain elements of video games.
By the way, the entire chat is just so much love for CLX, by the way. And Sellouts is the name of my content house. So shout out,
Okay.
Shout out to Sellouts. Yeah, if you were confused, I just want to clarify.
Well, that's cool.
awesome.
It's awesome to see all
Yeah.
the people in here. It really is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't tell him to do all that. I just turned it over, and I saw the entire chat just freaking go off just now.
That is awesome. One of my good friends, and he was also one of my stream partners in our stream team back on Mixer, was Re-Up HD, and he is a huge fan of FaZe. I messaged him, and he was like, "Oh my god,
wait,
really?"
Rio?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Big-
I know him.
Yeah, big,
great
tall,
guy.
big, tall, gangly guy. Yeah, he's incredible. We met. He had been partnered for 5 days on Mixer when we first met, and was a very quiet person. And I dragged him out of his comfort zone very quickly. But yeah.
A true friend.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, so now we are back on. We're still finishing up the fans.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Yep, tightening these bottom fans down right now.
Okay. What's the standard number of fans that go into a unit of this size? Because, I mean, we offer multiple different sizes of PCs.
Yeah, so typically for this case, we would the minimum we would want to do would be 7, and that would be 3 in the top, 3 in the bottom, and 1 in the back. It does have obviously the capability to go up to 9, so we'll be filling it up this time. But yeah, 7 is what I would recommend going with.
Awesome. And of course, this is a mid ATX, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they do get smaller than this, though.
Yeah, there is ITX, which is even smaller.
Which is astounding.
Yeah, that.
You can get that much power inside of a tiny case. But then you have to make the Mew logo really small, and that's not fun.
Mm-hmm. And we'll make Christian really work for that one on the tie-up, too.
Right?
So he's sliding in this dust filter right here.
Yeah.
So that's just how
cool.
easy it is to pull it in and out.
And let's explain how these dust filters work and why they're kind of cool.
Yeah, so what's nice about these, they're just super easy to pull out and clean. Obviously, if you got pets or, you know, it is sitting on carpet or something like that, you just pull them out and rinse them off or wipe them down. There's a magnetic filter on the top as well and on the back. So you'll see those when we put them on, but yeah, just really easy to clean.
Nice. This is great. And of course, pulling the cables out through the back, making sure that's getting ready for cable management. One of the most frustratingly unique things that somebody's either good at or bad at. Luckily, Christian's an expert. So are you.
That's right.
And of course, with less space, we have less to put in. Now, this is an AIO. I mentioned it's an all-in-one. Can you tell me a little bit about the difference between an all-in-one cooler and the standard liquid cooler?
Yeah, so an all-in-one is just that. Everything is all-in-one. So you've got the radiator here that's filled up with fluid, our tubes that go into our pump, and our heat plate. So you just pull it out of the box and it's good to go. Obviously you want to put the fans on it and whatnot and the bracket on the board. But compared to an open loop system, which is one where you've got a bunch of radiators, either soft tubing or hard tubing. We do that here as well, or custom bend the tubes. Christian is actually the guy who does that too. And those are open loop, and that's open loop because we actually open it up to fill it up. With these closed loop, we won't ever open these up. So these don't require any maintenance, and they're just a great cooling option.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah, I've mentioned it before, but I'm always a little terrified of open loop systems, just because I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure I would get everything wet.
Yeah, for me, I just want to. Oh, go ahead, DJ.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I can vouch you for VIP in Ghost Shed. I mean, I could certainly ask him, but he also can see this, and let him make that call. There you go.
See what happens.
There we go. There you go. And of course, just in case anybody's, I mean, everybody in here clearly knows it, but for those of you who are new, Ghost, where can people find you, and where do you stream at?
I stream at twitch.tv/GhostGG.
That's GHVST. V.
Yeah, you gotta let people know. Yeah.
Thanks, Steven.
There we go. When can I use code GHOST at CLX checkout? Pieces asked. You know, that is a question I don't have an answer to.
I don't have one either.
Let's make an answer.
There we go. Okay, what are we working on now? Okay, now we've got the.
All right, so we're mounting the radiator
top
to the
screws.
top of the case right now. So as you saw earlier, we had our fans mounted to our radiator. Well, now we've got the radiator on the case and mounting it to the top here.
Gotcha. Nice thing about having a magnetic tipped screwdriver is you don't have to worry about chasing the screws all over the place.
Yeah, definitely use a magnetic screwdriver. Save you a whole bunch of headaches.
So we've got this graphics card going in. Obviously, this is kind of a beast with 3 fans. This 3070 is going to be able to continue staying cool. Got a really nice ventilation system on that, and that's going to also be working in tandem with the core ventilation of the system using all 9 fans. So technically, this device is actually going to have 12 fans.
That's true. It is. Yep. And it'll sit in the case like this here in the bottom. And so all that fresh air coming in from outside the case, just going to come right into the fans on the GPU and cool it off. So it'll be able to breathe really well.
So Peace has asked how long I've been working with CLX. Actually, I've been, I guess would say, sort of partnership and working back-end stuff for multiple years. So we started out, the first time I think I met CLX was at DreamHack in Atlanta. And that was when I was researching, because I was one of the developers and creators of Halo Outpost Discovery, that national tour that went around the country. So that was when I met them, and they have great systems. I was really impressed with what I played on at the Creator Hub. And so I got in contact with them and said, hey, listen, I would love for CLX to provide, and we'd like to bring you on as our PC partner for Outpost Discovery. And they came and toured with us all summer in 2019, and it was it was actually incredible. Yeah, and so now every DreamHack, I'm usually either hosting or shoutcasting or DJing at DreamHack. So, and they're always there, and I'm always there. So lots of fun. And now we've got this really amazing show. Speaking of the show, this show happens every Tuesday. This week is very special because it's at 12 noon. Normally, our show begins at 11 a.m. Pacific. That's 2 Eastern. Each week as we continue to build new devices for varying different customers. And today we're really super excited because we get to build a monster build inside of a mid-size case for a winner of Mew's contest. Well, technically, although Mew, you won the contest.
Yep.
we got 2 winners here. We have 2 winners here. There we go.
I'm just a little sweaty.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, we are going to be here every week doing all sorts of fun stuff. That, by the way, later on in the stream, we are going to be dropping some codes that'll give 20 plus extra entries to a giveaway that's coming up on this, I believe, on the 6th of September, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh.
Yeah, right after PAX West. We are going to be giving away a custom Modern Warfare themed CLX raw build in celebration of Intel Gamer Days. We'll have more information on that and what those stats look like towards the end of the show, because trust me, you're going to want to see this thing. It's wild. So yeah, and of course, the more entries you got, the better your chances of winning. And who knows, maybe you'll end up being one of our guests in September if you're a winner. That could be fun. Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, getting that.
Will CLX be at PAX?
I cannot speak for CLX. I will be at PAX for sure. PAX West.
Oh, I might run into you.
Oh, heck yeah. Awesome. I'm supposed to, I know I'm on a
we
panel
will be
somewhere
at
and
PAX,
shoutcasting a couple
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I'll
We will
definitely,
be there.
That'll be really cool.
I'm going to hunt you down and get a picture with you, Mew.
Please.
Maybe I shouldn't use the word hunt you down. That sounds more aggressive than I meant it, but yeah. I will find you in the crowd. How about that?
Yeah.
Just look for the shining lights off of my bald head. It truly adds to the experience in dance clubs. It's great. Lasers. Just can't do it outside or I'll take down a plane. So, as for power supplies, now this 3070, it's pretty beefy as far as its power consumption. So, but 750 watts, that should not only take care of that, but give him some slush room in case Ghvst wants to add another card or other items.
Yeah, so with this power supply, you'll have a lot of overhead, Ghvst. You'll be able to add anything you want in. If you want to upgrade your video card, later down the road, this power supply will be capable of it. It is fully modular, so we're only going to use the cables that are required for this build, but we'll include all those cables, all the extra ones when we ship it to you. So you'll have those as well.
Now, you said something that I think some people may not understand, and I want to make sure that we explain that. What is the difference between a modular and non-modular power supply?
Yeah, so this is a fully modular power supply. What makes it fully modular is there's no cables coming out of this at all. So it's got ports here for us to plug in whatever cables we need. A modular, or sorry, this is fully modular. There's non-modular, which will have all the cables already soldered in, dangling out of the power supply, and then semi-modular, which will have some coming out of the power supply and some that you can plug in yourself. So this is a fully modular, which is a nicer one to use. It can make our tie-up a lot cleaner, and we only have to use the cables that we need. So just a nice, cleaner look. And
how is that important, especially in a smaller build like this, when it comes to functionality of the device?
Yeah, so depending on the case design, that can really affect airflow. For this case, the power supply is mounted in the back, so the cables won't be obstructing the airflow throughout the main part. But for this, it's going to make Christian's life a lot easier when he goes to tie this up, so he won't have a bunch of extra cables that he's got to manage that we aren't using.
See here. Wow. And that's usually the last thing going in. We're still mounting fans. All right. So speaking of fans, Mew, let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
First of all, how fun is it when you get to meet your fans, and how much of a mob does it usually create?
Oh man. So I actually, every time I
Uh-oh. Wait, we lost him.
Hello?
Oh, there you go. Now we can hear you.
Sorry about that. So, every time I step out of my house, I do get recognized, and it's such a surreal feeling. Every engagement does tend to be a little awkward though, because I'm just a socially awkward person. But mobs, however, don't get created. But there was one time where I was at a mall with my friends, and I remember one guy came up to me, knew who I was, took a picture, and then a whole crowd just starts like riling up. And I remember there was just like these two girls who like didn't know who I was, but they're like, hey, can I get a picture? And I was like, but you don't know me. And they're like, we don't care, you're famous. And I was like, okay. But it was just like, because of that, everyone I was like, what?
I saw him coming in and I didn't want to say anything.
No, you're good. I felt like something on the back of my head. I was like, oh. But yeah, it was such a. It's always such a really cool feeling though that people know my work and know my content.
So you've done a lot of things as far as gaming wise. What are some other areas of content creation and esports that you'd like to get into?
Oh man, I couldn't even tell you. I don't think there's anything that I would get into now, because I think I'm just like already so occupied with what I'm already doing. But just creating content and streaming with my entire content house, like that's the move right now. I've been enjoying it every single day since I started this content house.
That's awesome. And now they all want to say hi.
And now they're all behind me.
Hello, other members. Welcome.
There's no privacy in this house ever.
Well, naturally. All right, so Ghvst, I got some questions for you.
There.
So you're fairly new to the content creation scene. Where do you want to see yourself going moving forward?
To be honest, I want to keep streaming, like, do shit that Mew does. Am I allowed to curse? If I'm not, I curse a lot, but,
No, it's okay. These things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on live TV, we're fine.
I just love playing video games all the time, just streaming, like, constantly. Like, I just stream, like, 12 hours a day just because I want to. It's just
Nice.
a lot of fun. Makes me happy, so.
Well, you're definitely going to be able to game on this device.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we're taking a look over at the final fan. So this is the spot that we talked about when we've seen this frame before. There's usually panels there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what you meant when you discussed excess ventilation. Are these going to be blowing in or out?
Yeah, so these are going to be pulling air in. So these will be 2 extra intake fans. On the back panel, there is some slots, obviously with filters that it'll be able to breathe in there as well. So you can see these cutouts here. That's how this and the power supply will breathe.
Gotcha. And that'll also provide a little bit of air through that gap in the back that'll help keep the backside of the motherboard cooler.
Yeah, for sure.
I will say that back on the issue of the power supply.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple weeks ago, I had a solid state drive die, and I had to pull the back off of my PC to yank it out and figure out what the heck I was going to do. And that's when I discovered that the people who built my PC had used a non-modular power supply, and there were more cords and cables than I could possibly imagine that were completely unused and unnecessary, just stuffed into places, and they were covered in dust because I didn't know they were there. But obviously there's an airflow path there that catches it. So being able to have proper airflow is definitely important in a case, and I'm kind of excited to see how the cable management works for this, just because I think we're going to end up having more breathing room than expected.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it looks like, let me see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 cables, and that's all we need. Maybe a fifth, depending on if we need a SATA power for something, but yeah, so not too many.
Nice. All right, here comes the back end of the fan control. So, Christian, what are we doing at the moment?
I am getting the last fan installed, and then we'll do some wire management. Get some of these fan wires tidied up, the case wires, and then I'll go ahead and throw my video card and power supply in, and then get everything else hooked up. By then, we'll be good to go.
So as far as tips or tricks when it comes to cable management, or for those people who maybe want to change out their fans and put in their own RGB fans for their systems they have at home, what's some advice you would give before jumping into that endeavor?
Peace. Well, one thing, if you're taking apart a computer, trying to fix something, replace fans or something, I know you've mentioned this before, DJ. Just take a picture before you start unplugging stuff and taking stuff out, so you kind of have a guideline of what you need to put where.
Yeah.
One tip I would give, though, is just to kind of break it up in sections. I like to start over usually in like the top corner and work my way down when I do my cable management. And I'll always start off with my case wires and like the front panel USB 3.0, and I'll do my case wires and my fans, and I'll do those before I even throw a power supply in. That just gives me a little more room to work with. And then after I get all that done, I'll throw in my power supply.
Nice. ZRV Ace mentioned that it takes you a whole day to build a PC. I completely agree. I was blown away. Our first episode, when we started filming this a few weeks ago, I was completely blown away at the fact that they were able to do this in an hour. I was like, an hour? It took me so many times of screwing up so many different things, cable management wise, putting the fans in going the wrong way. I was just clearly didn't know what I was doing when it came to assembling it. I'm really thankful that, we've got this chance to continue learning, because I'm fairly certain a lot of people could use these tips when they're either assembling or retrofitting or upgrading their machines. So
yeah, it can always be
appreciate your
kind of
knowledge and your
intimidating,
expertise, gentlemen.
Getting in there, yeah, absolutely. We'd love to answer any questions if anybody's building a PC or anything like that.
And I see young Sweezy is here. So young Sweezy and I used to work at Microsoft together. He was also on the Halo tour, because I left Microsoft to go work on Halo with 343 and the Globetrotters, and I grabbed Sweezy and basically yanked him to come with us. It's like, I need a person to run all the tech in the gaming arena. He's like, all right, sure, why not? All right, so Pieces asks, can you ask Muse who is his favorite mod? Well, that's a loaded question.
I love all my mods equally.
There you go, and that is the politically correct answer.
I like it.
That's a very even and well done answer. All right. So now he's mounting the rear fan. This is an exhaust fan, so this will pull hot air out. The nice thing to think about when you consider, especially modern machines, I know some of the older machines. My current gaming PC is from like 2018, and there is no top ventilation. And if you think about it, hot air rises, it goes up, which explains why CLX builds have the top vents that pull the hot air up and out and through that radiator to allow the heat to exhaust and get out of the system as quickly as possible. That the side access fan is going to be pulling heat off of not just the AIO's connector, but also the graphics card. So as far as flow goes, will the direction of the fans? And this is always a weird way to ask this. Is the direction that the fans are on the graphics card going to impact or alter the airflow at all?
So with this design, it shouldn't. So it's going to be, obviously the case is going to be intaking through the bottom. These fans, the way they're set, are going to be intaking air into them and blowing it on the heat spreader. So it's going to actually kind of be a nice continuous stream of fresh air up from the bottom and then coming out.
Nice, nice. Now we do have a fewer number of spaces because this is a mid-sized tower. How many PCI slots are going to remain available once we install the GTX 3070?
Yeah, let me see here, because it's also, with this case, we have to take into account how many slots we have in the configuration. Let me get around here real quick, Christian. So this is going to have 2 PCIe by 1s that will be open. So that could be anything from a sound card, an extra Wi-Fi card, a USB card, any extra card you want there. That's PCIe by 1.
There we go. So, yeah, which means we'll be able to pull everything out and go through there. So Ghvst, that means that when you switch yourself up to a 2 PC system, I say this because I have a gaming rig and a media rig. You'll need to get a capture card if you don't already have one. And perfect. So now you can just move, and you'll keep that one there, because then just bring in everything from the new gaming PC into the capture card, and then all you have to do is stream from your old machine.
Yep.
Which
I
is
need like a
perfect.
mix amp too. Oh my god.
I mean, you can. I do. Yes, you can. I have a Mixamp Pro and a Go XLR combined together, and that's just for here. And in the music side, because I also DJ for Astro Logitech, I have 2 mixers over there to pipe into the media machine, and you can do all sorts of interesting things with different add-in cards. So, let's see. Now, when we're getting started on this, I see marking things and plugging things in. Is that just because they need to be in certain spots, Christian, or on that controller?
I'm sorry, say that again?
So I noticed that when you're plugging things into the controller, do they have to be in a specific spot, or can they just be plugged in everywhere?
I mean, they can be plugged in anywhere, but they need to be in sequence. I don't know if you can see it.
Might be
But,
hard.
yeah.
You can see the writing on there, but yeah, like Christian said, that'll tell you the sequence.
Yeah, there's a fan 1, fan 2, fan 3, fan 4, all the way to fan 8 on this fan controller. When you plug in your fans, you want to make sure you're going in sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you were to go 1, 3, 4, your first fan is going to light up. RGBs will be working, but the fans after that will not be working. They will not light up. They will still spin, but they won't light up. So you're going to have them all in sequence for them to light up.
All right. Well, while we're adjusting this, I want to take a second to talk about one of the easiest ways for any of you who are in the chat. If you're looking to get a build or to upgrade your own system, let's take a look at the CLX Gaming website. At CLX Gaming, we make sure that all of your needs are met, and you can find the PC that's going to be right for you. Whether you're brand new to PC building or you just want to buy something that's pre-designed and preset, we've got them all. You can figure out what kind of processor, what kind of motherboard, graphics card. We have other add-ons, including the we have capture cards, Ethernet cards, you name it, we got it. We can customize those builds. If you're not sure that you're comfortable with choosing the parts, don't worry. With CLX Gaming's website, you actually have a button up top that will light up and tell you, hey, there's a hardware conflict. It'll give you the options and solutions on how to resolve that conflict to make sure that your system is going to function and function well. All of these options are available at CLX Gaming TV. I'm sorry, CLXGaming.com. CLX Gaming TV is our site. Be good, DJ. But yeah, check it out right now and find out how you can invest in your future as a gamer and a content creator. All right, there I did my bit.
It was a good one.
Thanks, appreciate it. let's see here. Gotcha. So now we're doing this with zip ties, little tiny zip ties. Again, if you need to adjust anything, if you need to add anything, take a picture of these in the way that they are strapped in before you undo them, because it is important to get it just correct.
I'll be scared to take it apart. So.
Right? Yeah.
Or you can call our wonderful tech support.
That's right.
That's true. So Paul, let's talk about tech support and the warranty for this.
Yeah, so this is going to have lifetime labor and support. So obviously any issues you have, you can call in, chat with us, stuff like that. If something goes wrong and it's got to be brought in, lifetime labor as well. I believe we have a 1 year on parts on this, so you will be good.
Awesome. That's great. All right, so now we're doing the final assembly of all of those little items in there. Now, is there a reason that we do, and I love how I'm pointing these questions for a reason. Is there a reason that we install everything except for the graphics card first?
Yeah, so the graphics card is obviously most of the time a pretty big card. So we like to not have that in the system while we're doing the other stuff. Also, it's just, the way it sits in with it being mounted there, we don't want to be moving the case and, turning it all around and stuff like that while that's in there. It also does take 2 8-pin power connectors, which we don't have the power supply in yet, so we're going to do that at the end.
Gotcha. And that small black cage that we're seeing on the back of the machine right there, that is the hard drive mounting slot.
Yeah, that's correct. So if you ever do get a 3.5-inch storage drive or something like that, that's where it will go. And the power supply is going to mount right above that.
Now, as this is again a slide-in, just you put it into the tray and you just slide it right in. So how is that going to work? If Ghvst wanted to add that, how does that work out? How would he go about adding that in and sliding that little guy in?
Yeah, so on the back of the case, you'll see a thumb screw on a panel. You'll just undo that thumb screw, pull out the tray, install your drive into that tray, slide it in. This case does not have the hot swappable base, so you will have to plug in a SATA power and a SATA data for that. But yeah, that's it. Just opening that up, putting in the tray, sliding it in there, and plugging it in. And if you're ever wanting to do that, and you can come in on it, do it on a Tuesday. We can walk you through it on stream too.
Yep, absolutely. So we have had a couple questions in chat. I wanted to scroll through here real quick.
Yeah.
As far as I know, we've had some questions. Oh, so Pieces, are you actually a DJ? Yes, I am the Astro and Logitech DJ. I've been a DJ for 20 years. I used to have blue hair. I had hair. And
I have a follow-up question to that one. Do you have a picture?
I think I have one somewhere, but yeah, unfortunately we had I lost a bunch of them when I lost a hard drive, and I did not have a backup, which is a lesson to be taught here, people. Make sure you have a backup, and I lost a lot of stuff. But yeah, I know I've been a DJ for a while. I DJ Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays here on Twitch over on my channel, and we do house music on Fridays, dance music on Saturdays, and then Sundays is our down-tempo lounge where it's kind of chill out, or I find really interesting acoustic covers of tracks that are sung in very different ways, and it's a great way to just relax. So that's what I do. We had a question about why do I sound like a robot? Because I love the Transformers. Let's see here. We had a question about OBS and when it's taking up significant amount of power usage. I think that from a software standpoint, I don't know that Paul or Christian would be able to answer why your specific build it would have that. I would definitely recommend checking what else is running at that time, just from a streaming person standpoint. Whenever I've had that happen, check and make sure you don't have any old plugins that need to be updated. Make sure that you're on your latest drivers and that you're on the latest build of OBS. But otherwise, there are OBS forums, and OBS has their own Discord.
Yeah.
And then you can ask tons of questions.
The only thing that I can think of without knowing anything about the system would be to check like the encoder, like are you using NVENC or, run off the CPU or the GPU, maybe, but I've got a good idea for you, DJ. You could have the hair pics on an OnlyFans page.
Am I allowed to talk about that? No. Well, I mean, so
Only friend.
ironically, a friend, one of my community members hit me up and was like, dude, you have an OnlyFans. I said, I do not. Are you kidding me right now? Somebody had set up an OnlyFans as a joke, and I had to go and contact OnlyFans and get ownership of it.
I had no knowledge of that. I did not know that.
Yeah. No, that's yeah. I'm fairly sure. I'm pretty sure it was one of my mods.
That's funny.
Just for no other reason than to mess with me on a Tuesday.
Man.
Yep, it happens.
That's funny.
So, all right, where are we at? And he's plugging in the main power to the board?
Yeah, so he's got his 24-pin power plugged into the board now. Obviously, we don't have the power supply installed yet. This is something that is going to make the tie-up easier. You can see the CPU power cable as well coming through. This is another nice thing about a modular design. We can plug the cables into the board and put them where we want without even installing the power supply.
Oh my gosh. And of course, .chaos, my head mod, apparently is in chat, and just, I can't believe you found that. He found a picture of me with blue hair, and I think this is when I was graduating from naturopathic
That's awesome.
and LMT school. Yo, we got Brethren with a gift sub hype. Let's go, 10 gift subs. What?
Thank you.
That's awesome. Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I would. This is a sketchy picture, but like I can switch from my OBS so you can kind of sort of see it. This is gonna be bizarre. Let's do this. Doop-a-doop.
Me and Christian are so ready.
Wow.
That's blurry as all hell,
Like a
but
different
yeah,
person.
yeah, I know, right?
Oh my
That was
goodness.
Who's
That's
that
a thing.
cool guy?
Yeah.
And what the hell am I wearing? What is that shirt? I'm just so confused right now.
You're looking
All
very
right.
professional.
So yeah, that's here we go. Back to that's the wrong one. That's the DJ stream screen. There we are. Okay. .chaos, thank you so much. I appreciate you embarrassing me as always. But
Thank you, Doc.
yeah, no, used to have blue hair. But yes, I'm a DJ. There you go. And the gift subs coming in hot. There's Doc. Thanks, Doc. You're a rock star. All right, so while they are installing this, we'll bounce just another couple questions off of our guests. With the exception of your mainstay games, what are games that you play that people might not know that you love?
That's a hard one. Cause like, so this is, I don't know if anyone else could agree, but like, sometimes like when you play games for like a living, well, I don't know, it's just like, I can't find other games that I can enjoy like outside of streaming. Cause like every time I start gaming, now my mentality is like, oh, I should probably stream this.
No,
so I don't.
right.
Yeah, so I don't game offline as much as I wish I could.
And that's true though. It is true. I went through that recently. I was working 7 days a week for like 5.5 years and streaming constantly in my free time, and I didn't understand that I can game off stream. So I've now made a point, like in my late night before I go to bed, I will come downstairs and we'll play some Rainbow Six Siege or things, and trying to break that cycle of if I'm playing it, I need to be streaming it, which ironically I perform a lot better when I'm not paying attention to chat.
Exactly.
Ghvst, how about you?
Same as them. I really don't play anything unless I'm streaming, because like I'm playing a game.
I think
so
streaming is just like, it's like you have people who are there to like support you during whatever you're trying to play, so it makes it more enjoyable. So like it just never happens where I'm just gaming offline.
Yeah, I will say that I'm definitely in the top 25 or 30 players in the world. My specialty, of course, is respawning. So I'm really good at getting shot in the head. I'm really good at accidentally seeing my teammates and shooting them in the face and then screaming them sorry really, really loud into the game mic. Yeah. But if people aren't there to laugh about it, then I feel guilty. If they laugh about it, well, then I call it content. Doing it for science. There we go. So, Pieces says Mew ruins his life with Valorant. Good lord.
He's not wrong.
There we go. All right, taking a look now at the graphics card is installed. Of course, this is the GeForce RTX 3070 build. This has a boost clock of 1.73 with a base clock of 1.5. It's got 8 gigs of DDR6 RAM, video RAM in it. This is got 2nd generation ray tracing built into it, and it is the 3rd generation tensor cores. And you know, I ask this every week just because it's an odd thing. What is the difference between, you know, tensor cores, CUDA cores? They talk about cores a lot in the architecture of the design, but what can you tell us about those and why they're important, Paul?
Yeah, so you can probably get a better description from the old internet, but what I think is, like with CUDA cores, that's going to affect a lot of the amount of cores is going to be how much that can, that GPU can do at one time. So the higher frequency, the more those cores are running. So yeah, I always just think more cores, the better.
Gotcha. And so would you say this is much more, like, what's comparatively to previous cards, where does the 3070 sit?
So I would put the 3070 right between a 2080 and a 2080 Super. Depending on what game you're playing, you know, that obviously can affect, you know, what you're going to get out of it, but definitely on par with the 2080 and maybe on par with the 2080 Super as well.
And the big difference is this, the 30 series has the 2nd generation of ray tracing. It's so much smoother and more efficient, and it's just easier to use. Whereas with 1st generation ray tracing, anybody who's got a 20 series card like I do knows that sometimes things hiccup, but it's only because it wasn't. I don't know if many game developers truly implemented it when they were creating the game. Some of them added it as an after effect, and I've seen where that has gone sideways sometimes on specific games. But 30 series cards, amazing, and I'm looking at that. So will that bottom slot be available for use, or is it going to be completely covered?
Yes, it will be available for use.
Cool.
It'll look kind of tight in this shot, but there is plenty of room for it.
Awesome. When we go to that back side, you can see all the cables back there are all lining up.
So like his motherboard powers and his CPU power, he did that with his video card too. So we've got the video card cables plugged into the video card and ran out the back of the case, all while our power supply is still not installed. So just a great example of why a modular power supply is nice.
And do we also have one of the special caps on the top of that AIO?
For this cooler, this comes with a ENERMAX cap that we can't change.
Got it. Okay.
So, but it is RGB. It is a nice looking cap.
Oh, this is an RGB.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. That's what I was hoping for.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. It is.
So yeah, I was gonna say, like, one of the cool things is with the white case, the lights are really gonna show up and pop, but also there's so much that's gonna light up in this machine. It's gonna power up at least one wall of your house.
Yeah, no kidding.
My housemate always laughs whenever he comes down, because under our house is our workspaces. He's a glass artist and I'm a broadcaster. So all the glass studio is on that side and up on the front, and I've got the back end. And whenever I'm doing an update or just downloading something, I'll turn off all the monitors, and the only thing that's running is the PC. And it comes down here and it looks like a club is happening, but there's no music. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, you can dance if you want to. I see what I did there. Listen, cheese is the only thing I can't eat, so I speak it.
I'm all about it.
Okay. One of the services that happens here with CLX is you test the builds before you send them out.
That's right. Yeah, so once we're done with this, we're going to treat this just like every other build we do. This is going to go to our testing and integration department, and that's going to be where we load the operating system, any games the customer wants, we'll get that on there, set our BIOS for whatever we need to, and then we're going to stress test the system for 12 hours as well.
Look at that. We've got a 43% hype train. 43% of level 5. You know what I hate more than anything else is math. I don't know what that means. But it's like a level, it's a full level 2.5. No, we've already passed all the way past there. Look at this. All the bits coming in we've had subs. You all are great. We love you. No wonder Mew's always wearing a smile.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're getting this finally set up. Future events. Mew, where are you going to be at this fall? Which ones are you attending?
Which what?
Which events are you going to be attending this fall?
TwitchCon, and then first week of September I will be at PAX, so I'll be seeing you guys. But
Nice.
But TwitchCon I'm really excited for, because it's the first one we've had here in the US, like what, since 2019?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I went to the first 4, and then so this was my first time back at TwitchCon. So in San Diego, which has the best wings on the face of the earth, and I know because I've been everywhere to try to beat them. They haven't. There's a place called Bub's the Ballpark. It's walking distance to the convention center. Best wings ever. They have so many. They have 40 some odd different flavors and types. They bake them, they grill them, they fry them, they air fry them, depending how you want them made. And it's wildly. It's so good that when I was in San Diego last time for TwitchCon, we ate there 5 days in a row.
Wow.
Because it was that good.
Wow.
Yeah, that's saying something for me. So, yeah, who else? I asked who else we're going to be seeing at PAX. How many people in the chat are planning on heading over to PAX West? Of course, it's coming up first weekend in September in Seattle, Washington, only a few hours north of me. It's going to be incredible. We'll be there with the podcast and with the Respawn All-Stars, which is my team, because we're really good at dying. There you go.
That's got to be nice being that close, DJ.
Yeah. No, we're just gonna carpool and roll on up there. So Dragonite and I are going up on Thursday, and getting our place.
Nice.
So it's ironic. I have friends named Dragonite. You've got a Mew. Here we go.
That's just a
So
time.
let's talk about the background of that. So you've been FaZe Mew. You've been Mew for a while, or Mews on Twitch.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I made my lucky number 13, and I was like, when you think of the number 13, what's like the first thing that you think of? And I was like bad luck, right? So when you think of bad luck, you associate it with cats. This is going to be a really confusing thing. So I was like, oh, I want a cat name, because like it was just like in the community back then, people used to have like 2 aliases, like. So I don't know. I came up with Mew, and then I came up with like something called Per-teen, because I mixed obviously cat's purr and then the number 13. So yeah. So that's the origin of that. It wasn't even like because I was like a hardcore Pokemon fan or anything. I was just like, oh, here's Mew, the Pokemon. Like,
that's awesome. Well done. All right then. That's a perfect answer.
I like that. It was.
God, that took me a sec. That was good.
Sorry.
That was good.
All right, now Christian, on the backside of your what you're doing right now, with what's remaining of the cords, what's going on there?
Just plugging in my SATA cable, and this is going to power my 2 fan controllers. And you know what? I think we're about ready to go.
Uh-oh, this is going to be fun. All right, well, he's getting that final up. Ghvst, how'd you come up with yours?
Huh. So I like Modern Warfare 2 a lot, and the character Ghvst. My name was Camouflage Ghvst because of him. So then I changed it to Ghvst with a V.
seriously one of the best characters in that game. Yeah, that's cool, awesome.
Yeah, it's my favorite character of all time, probably.
I think my favorite squad of all time, however, is going to go to Battlefield Bad Company 2, which is the most biggest smart Alex ever. So, all right. Final moment of truth. So, one observation about the builds that I've noticed that are really cool, because it's the same with the CLX builds. It's all the same. My glass sides have these big holes in them with screws. You got to screw them on down to take them on, take it off. But you'll notice there's no screw holes on the glass sides for the CLX builds. Paul, how does that work?
Yeah, so our front panel and our side panel on this case just slide right in. You can see these notches here at the top and on the side. So our glass panels will slide on that, and then we'll put our top panel in, pop that on, and then that'll cover those notches so that the panels are on there securely. It's a really nice design. If you ever got to open it up, you just pull the top panel off and slide your panel out.
Yep. Which is great, and that'll make it easier for you, Ghvst, in the event that you need to use that final, the final PCI slot there on the very bottom.
Well,
And then you just use the easy access screws that are on that back. What would you call it, Paul? A panel
This
panel
side right
plate?
here?
The little where the PCI is, the little plate, the little socket plates that you pull out when you want to add a card or something.
Oh yeah, we just call those PCIe slot covers that we got
There we
right
go.
there. Yep.
Yep, just pull your slot cover out. There you go. And you can see we've got the back that just went on. All those little holes mean proper ventilation, and it's going to push, get the air through there. Look at that. Look at the Mew. It is so cool.
This is cool. Alrighty, well we'll get these thrown on here and this thing turned on. So you can
This
see as
is
he
gonna be
slides it
great.
in there, how it fits into those notches. And it is in there pretty securely without this top panel on top. It did slide down, but obviously if you're gonna move it or something and you have those panels off, make sure this is on. So it's got our magnetic filter here. We'll just slap on top. There you go.
Which is great. Those things are lifesavers, the magnetic tops. All right, we're popping that one down. Look at this.
Right.
Alrighty, all right, here you go, Christian.
Are we ready?
Let's see if we can get this.
There we go.
All right, Ghvst, you excited?
Oh, I've been
So you
waiting
can
for
already
this
see
one.
the RGB on the motherboard there coming in, so we know the board has power.
Here we go.
Alrighty.
Congratulations, GHSGG. This is your PC.
It's so pretty. Holy.
Right?
Yeah, this thing is
It's
great.
gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
The Mew
Like I
on
mentioned,
it,
the whole thing just lights up.
Yeah.
And the white tubes, the light will come up the white tubes, which is great.
Oh my god.
It's
There we
so
go.
sick, dude.
This will have a remote there, so we can change what color, whatever you want to put on it. It has some settings that the lights will kind of bounce around on. That'll be really cool as well. So
Yeah.
whatever color you want to be on there, you just use it with this remote. That'll be included in the accessories.
I think that looks pretty cool. I like.
Yeah, that color looks good right there.
Purple. Oh.
Mew's over here like, why did I give this away? Oh, I don't think we can hear. I don't think we can hear Mew again. Nope, he is silenced.
Damn.
Really? Nope, can't hear you. I can see your mouth
He's
moving.
yelling.
We see ya.
Hello, hello. Oh, there you go.
There
There
we
you go.
go.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
there
was
we
like, man, I love this. I'm geeking over here.
It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and that's the joy of the show. We do this every week, like I mentioned, on Tuesdays, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific. If you want to check out more incredible builds, that's what we do here. That's what we do here. So, there you go. Congratulations, Ghvst. Where can people find you? Socials and your stream.
Everything the same. Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all GHSGG or GHSTG.
It's GHVSTGG. Mew, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/Muse.
There you
And
go.
I'm typing in the chat right now.
All right, perfect. Awesome. Make sure you get all those. Huge shout out and thank you to everybody in the community. We'll be back on Tuesday with another incredible build here at CLX Foundry Live. Make sure if you want to know more about any of the PCs, pieces, or parts that you've seen here, or you'd like to look at our pre-builts, including laptops, head on over to CLX Gaming TV. You can also follow CLX Gaming on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. Right now, on behalf of everyone here, Jason in production, Ghvst, Mew, Christian, and Paul, I'm DJ BluePDX. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.